can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's called insanity. Change ain't coming. Tell the people change is here. We're taking what is ours. We ain't never scared. We gonna fight for our rights. Ain't no backing out. The Bahamas loving how we got this real blackout. Taking our country back, not living so hopeless. Vote for Lincoln Bain, our Bohemian Moses. A real leader coming with the vision and the plans. Let's take a stand. Every Bohemian woman, child, and man. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled. Y'all are the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for a change in the office. We fighting for our rights and our natural resources. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled. Y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for the change in the office. We fighting for our rights for our natural resources. Yeah. Stand up and make a change. Yeah. For Bohemians everywhere. Make a change. We gonna make a change. Change is here. We gotta quit with tradition and let's go forward a mission to build a better Bahamas for all the children that live in it. Sell our country and land and give it to all the foreigners. Keep Bohemians suppressed because they think we're not good enough. But we're making a stand, throw up a fist with a hand. Stand united as one nation under the sun. We the people fighting for the new Bahamas. We bring the facts, but they wanna bring the drama. They can go and put a sign on every corner, but the cry of the people will be louder. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here.
Good afternoon, my fellow Bohemians. Me and my leader, Lincoln Bain, is here to update the Bohemian people on what is going on in this country as last week. My fellow Bohemians, I want the entire Bahamas to keep the family members of Baby Bella in prayers. The police still has not released the body of Baby Bella to the family or the funeral home. After speaking to the family members sometime last week, they are telling me that the police have promised them faithfully tomorrow that they will release the body to them. So I would like the entire Bahamas to keep the family members of Baby Bella in prayers. And Bohemians, I want to pass it over to my leader for him to start to address the nation as to what is going on in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Good morning, Bahamas, and thank you to all of you who are tuned in today and spending your Sunday evening with us. You know what to do when you get on here. Facebook is not going to just share this. You have to share this. Please take a minute to share before we officially get started. Take a minute to share this. That's your responsibility. You're a supporter. Get on here. You have hundreds of people on here. I see hundreds of shares. Take a little second and share this. Share this to everyone. The information that we're going to pass on today, as always, you need your family and friends to hear. So please take a second to share so that we can get going. While we're in sharing mode, and also like it. So once Facebook sees you engaging, the algorithm will start to share the video a little bit. And so I just want to say welcome to everybody. I see people tuning in. Welcome to wherever you are watching this from. Welcome to everywhere you're watching this from. Welcome. I see people tuning in. Lizette Pratt says, hello, my people. Samantha Bastian, we see you. Cheryl Ferguson says she's in the front seat. Welcome, Cheryl Ferguson. Veronica Bain is here. Esther Benamy saying good evening, Esther Benamy. Bahama Shan is here. Also, Joan Williams. Thank you all for tuning in. Welcome to all of you. We have a message. We have a country to say. Rajon is in from Florida. Welcome, Florida. It's good to have you, Rajon. Good to see you. So, that's Robert Malone. Welcome, Robert Malone. It's a pleasure to have you. And we appreciate you and we appreciate your support as always. We see you there. Lovato Maki, welcome to everybody here. Someone says watching from Florida. Michelle Malone, watching from Florida. Welcome, Michelle. Bessie, COI family, hi. Thank you for joining us. Vanessa Darciel, welcome, Vanessa. You're always welcome. Watching from Managua. That's Eldridge Gardner, watching all the way from Managua. That happens to be further than Florida from us.
Palm Beach.
Watching from West Palm Beach. That is John S. Smith, watching from West Palm Beach. Someone says, Blake Andrews, we appreciate your support, as always. What is this? From Crooked Island. That's my heritage. My people are from. That's Barbara Gibson, all the way from Crooked Island and Mike Carl. Right, looking forward to spending some time with you all. Got some property and then we got to come develop.
Don't eat mine.
Stay tuned. No, we got our family, got our own.
Okay.
They need nothing from you. Gotta do something down there soon.
Louisiana.
Watching from Louisiana. Welcome, Louisiana. Welcome, Louisiana. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you who are tuned in. Make sure you taking some time to like or love this broadcast so that Facebook shares it. Someone says, COI, no other way. I'm with you. I am with you. I am COI till I die. Gotta worry about that. We ain't going back there. We ain't going back to the FNM. We ain't going back to the PLP. COI till I die. So thank you. John Rose from Freeport. Welcome. So we took this moment out to share. Virginia, watching from Virginia. That's Dio Jones. Welcome, Dio Jones. Dio is actually the guy who did that video where he was driving under a tunnel. Remember that video where they were driving under the tunnel and then it was going up the bridge and then going back to the tunnel? That's the video. He was showing people that the vision of the COI was very possible. All right, and he was a supporter from day one. Exuma is watching. Ms. Darling, Jamon Darling from Exuma is watching. Antonio Mills is from Freeport. The Coalition of Independence, no other way. That's your role. So welcome. Make sure you all keep sharing, so that people can know what is going on. If you're just tuning in, I see about 100 or so people just started tuning in. We just want to update you that baby Bella is still in the morgue. Family has been trying to get her all this time, but she is still in the morgue. The family has had to been staying here. I want to thank Maria Dotson, Charlotte Green, Patrice Hannah Carey, Ben McKinney. I want to thank all of you. I didn't miss no names.
Facts and issues. Richard Johnson. I want to thank everyone who was, and listen, the names I call on my pencil, the names I call were PLPs, FNMs, COI. Listen, Ms. Marsha from the DNA. All right. These are people who really came together to make this happen. And I want to thank Charlotte and Maria and Ben because they were working hard behind the scenes to make sure that the family had somewhere to stay while they were here, trying to get this body out of the morgue. Remember, they are from Grand Bahama. And so they were trying to get this body out of the morgue. It's been delays. The police not released the body. And we want to make sure that that body is released as soon as possible. Yes.
You know, that baby has been through enough. Okay? And so, Nurse Dill from Freeport, I see you. Thank you. Nurse Dill Green from Freeport, thank you for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to get that body out of the morgue so that we can do what is right for baby Bella.
Yes.
It is disgraceful that her body has not been released yet. It is disgraceful. And so we're calling on the police to do what is right and know that we are watching you and we're going to be all over this. We're not going to let, baby Bella was abused in life. We're not going to let her be abused in death. That is not going to happen. But those names that I call, Ms. Maria Daxon, Charlotte, and
Minister Charmaine also.
and also Minister Charmaine Adley, Patricia, they've been working together to make sure that the family had somewhere to stay. First they were in an Airbnb, and then they were put up in Breezes Hotel, so that includes food and everything. So they've been put up in somewhere secure where they can have food, etc. And I also want to thank you heroes for doing that. This is about the Bahamian people, y'all. This is about politics. And I think Glenisana did something.
Yes.
Glenisana Martin, I think, provided a vehicle.
And Obi Wilchcombe also.
Glenisana Martin and Obi Wilchcombe.
Yes.
They made sure they had a vehicle. And so thank you all for that. We appreciate your efforts. And so this isn't about politics. This is about Bahamian people.
Yes.
It's for these colors right here. And remember that these colors right here, y'all.
That's right.
All right, it's for the flags behind us. All right. Remember that. You can add some more about that in a minute. All right. So we just want to do that. Now that is over, now that you've shared, I hope everyone has shared this. Who is on here, please share. I just want to say a special happy birthday to some people. We had a couple of our supporters who had birthdays this week. Some of our supporters. One of them is one of our attorneys on board, Mrs. Donna Dorset Major. We want to say a special happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Donna.
Let's get a picture up there. Let's get Miss Donna a picture of this so they can see who's Donna Dorset Major. Miss Donna Dorset Major had a birthday this week. Also, today, is her birthday. Last night, I got to celebrate with Miss Daphne Johnson, who had a birthday last night. So Daphne Johnson, that was our candidate for Charlotte. And so she did an awesome job there. Happy birthday to you. You're looking younger every year. We also had other persons who had birthdays recently, our supporters. Miss Vanessa Davel had a birthday. Thank you so much for all of your support and for supporting this organization from day one. That's Donna Dorset Major, you see on the screen there. That is Miss Daphne Johnson, you see on the screen there. Vanessa Davel also had a birthday, who's a supporter, and also another supporter, Leo Zavon, also known as Leo, also had a birthday. So thank you, all of you, for tuning in. We got to get down to some business and some serious business. You know, I showed you a box, and I want you to put that box up, producer. I want you to put this box up, and it's a picture of a box.
Maybe what in the box?
You can learn what's in that box in a minute. Just that picture right there. That's enough. That's a box. What's inside that box was valued by documents in the courts at $138 billion.
Not in the Bahamas, eh?
In the Bahamas.
You right there, sir.
138. I can show you all the documents. We come back to that in a minute. $138 billion. The content of that box was valued at $138 billion.
And we break.
And we broke.
Our deficit is high.
But I'm going to tell all of you, make sure your friends and family are watching. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. We got some other stuff to touch on first. And I'm going to tell you what's in that box. And that is the crime of the century. You're going to understand what it's like to be a Bahamian. How you have no rights in this country. How they rape and rob us, but they never feel that Bahamians deserve anything. You're going to see it for yourself again. I don't know when you're going to be tired of seeing it and experiencing it, but I'm tired. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're tired, but the contents of that box is worth $138 billion with a B Stay tuned. We're going to get back to that in a second. All right. I just want to say that on this weekend, it's been a beautiful weekend. We've had a conclave in our organization where we got to deal with some things, clear up some things, air some things out, and decide to move on. We're an organization that is on a mission. We are not your typical political organization. We are an organization with a view to empowering Bahamians for us to benefit from this country. And there's billions of dollars at stake. We want you to understand that not everybody wants you to benefit from your country. There are people who will pay lots of money to be stabilized for COI right now. There are organizations who will pay lots of money to try to destabilize us. But we're not just an organization, we are a people.
Oh yeah.
We are the Bahamian people.
That's right.
That's what we are about. And that is first and foremost. And you can see Maria wearing a flag today.
Oh yeah.
And we put it in our logo because that is who we are and that is what we are about. And so we're going to have to move forward with some things. We have decided to structure our organization, as we said to you several times. We're structuring, restructuring our organization and becoming structured. We were a coalition before, and that means a coalition didn't need a structure. It's just people working together, in a common cause. It didn't need an official structure, but we were working together. But now we said that we want to officially structure, and we decided to become a party. And we had votes in our executive and amongst our former candidates and other leaders, and they voted unanimously for us to become a party. And so we invited you to become founding members. So Bahamians started to help us with this process of structuring. And so we want to thank all of you who've been coming forward every day on a daily basis. Every day on a daily basis, persons have been coming in and signing up and putting their money where their mouth is. There are people every day calling us and saying, y'all can't give up. Y'all have to keep going. But the only way that we could keep going is if you support us. We are not going to take any monies from any oligarchs or any of these kinds of people. We have not taken monies from any oligarchs or any of these kinds of people. There's a rumor going around that I've gotten some $1 million from Life Key and cash, and I don't want to pick up that. Let me tell you something.
And you won't give me none?
No. I ain't give me none.
Okay.
Because they ain't give me none.
Okay.
We have not received any funds from any oligarchs or any of those Life Key persons or anything. Of course, I told you that they would start attacking us after election because now we are threat to them because they can't fulfill their promises. We're going to touch on some of that in a minute. They can't fulfill their promises. They know they can't fulfill their promises. They know they're in trouble, y'all. And so they are terrified that we're going to keep them, keep their feet to the fire. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to come to the next election structured properly, forming our branches, allowing you to come in. So some persons have already started to contribute towards that. We thank you for that. Notice we are the first organization that has put forward financials to their members. Every month, we're going to put forward our financials. When December rolls around, our members are going to see the financials again. Every dollar in and every dollar out. This is the new Bahamas. This is the new way for politics in this country. We must be accountable. You agree, Maria?
I agree.
And
I believe in accountability,
yes,
transparency, and good governance. I was trying to hold the economic feet to the ground. You need to give an account for the taxpayers' money.
Yes. Now
that the PLP is in power, they know I come in. I, along with all the Bahamian people, needs to know how the taxpayers' money is being spent, Lincoln. That's all we asking for, And we have no right to do that unless we are also accounting to the Bahamian people. Thank you very much.
And so we're the first organization that is offering all of our financials to the Bahamian people. All right. And so moving forward, like I said, don't listen to rumors and these kind of gossip and all that kind of stuff. They're going to come to you and tell you, oh, Lincoln has left and joined the FNM. Lincoln has joined the PLP. I heard that but 6 times during the election campaign. They're going to come with all kind of rumors back and forth. Don't catch me with that foolishness. If you don't hear it from me, it ain't real. All right. So stay focused. We're on a mission. There are some people who don't want you to benefit. We're going to touch on some of that stuff. And then we're going to get to the box. Show them the box again. Show them the box. Then we're going to get to the box. What is inside that box? What is inside that box? It is worth $138 billion.
Why, Lincoln, I don't believe you. Not in the Bahamas. And we starving.
One thing you know about me, I don't talk without documents.
And we starving, Lincoln.
You can see in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
People sleeping on the road. People can't pay their bills. People houses are getting taken, Lincoln. People cars are getting taken. And we got all this money in this country. So Lincoln, who controlling all of this? The Bahamian people have a right to know. Man, that can't be the taxpayers' things you're talking about, Lincoln.
Listen.
That's what's only the oligarch things, eh?
Of course, the taxpayers, what you see in there. We'll get to that in a minute. It's serious. Did you notice that I talked about the treasure? I released the information about the treasure. I showed you where they found all of the treasure over the years. I released all of the licenses, what was found. We released all of that information to you with documents. I never talk unless I have proof. If you hear me talking about something, I have proof. And that is proven all my life. If I don't have proof of something, I am not even going to touch it. Okay? And so I showed the documents, and you notice right before election, days before election, they said they found sunken ships with over $1 billion in treasure. Right in the Tribune. They said they found sunken ship with over $1 billion in treasure. The same deal I told you all about. But notice that went quiet. No one is talking about that. Where did this $1 billion go? But yet they're saying we're broke. That is going to go under the rug. Why? Because most Bahamians only care about politics, PLP, F&M. Where did this where's that $1 billion going? Where did it go? It was right there in the papers, and then it went, shh, let them forget about that while we get this money and spend it, and they get nothing. They're sleeping in their cars. Their lights are off. They're hungry. They're starving. That's our $1 billion. But guess what? You know what you can get from it? Zero. That's where we are right now in this country. So we're going to get to the box in a minute. Just got a couple things we got to touch on. I want to touch on the post office deal before we get to that box. The post office deal. You know, Brent Simonette came, and he's a little cheeky. They finally released the lease on the post office. And Brent Simonette decided that he was going to respond to the releasing of that lease. As his response.
Lay the facts on the table and then make some comment that they stand for themselves. Tell the whole truth. Don't just give a little bit of it.
Former Cabinet Minister Brent Simonette blasting Transport and Housing Minister JoBeth Colby Davis, asserting she failed to give the full story about the Town Center Mall lease, which houses the General Post Office. Colby Davis recently tabled the lease, which revealed that government is spending $820,000 annually for the space owned by Simonette and his brother.
First of all, when you lease a building, you lease the four walls usually, and then you build out inside. The government didn't do that. The Town Center Mall built the interior out for the government. They had no money. So where they had quotes that it was going to cost them $3.5 or $4.5 million, they didn't spend any of that money. The landlord did. That's point number one, which she didn't say.
The resolution to allow the government to enter into a lease agreement with the landlords of the mall to house the post office was passed in 2018. The decision was steeped in controversy. The opposition and at least one F&M MP felt it was a conflict of interest, as Simonette was still a cabinet minister at the time. Colby Davis told Parliament the government paid $500,000 to upgrade and improve the property. Simonette said that isn't the full truth.
That was works requested by the government that they could not afford to do, and the landlord did it for them on the terms that they would be repaid over the 5-year lease at prime, the rate of prime interest. You can't borrow at prime interest. If you and I can't borrow at prime interest, it's prime plus something. So there again. So that stuff was TVs, computer wiring, security systems, Special stuff.
The former St. Anne's MP also insisted that the rental fee of $12 per square foot is a drop in the bucket compared to other spaces. When compared to the plan left by the former Christie administration, Symonette suggested that this was more beneficial for the government.
The previous administration, the PLP, wanted to rent some 75,000 square feet for the post office and had agreed in principle to rent from a different person who's buying the mall from us for $25 a square foot. They're also going to put a court upstairs and rent that for $25 a square foot plus. Matter of fact, they're proposing to sign a lease on a spot that wasn't vacant, that when it came vacant.
Symonette doesn't feel the details of the lease is the cause of the frenzy surrounding the post office.
The real issue is that Brent Symonette got a lease from the government of the Bahamas, right? That's the real issue. Now, whether I was in cabinet or not, how many debates have you seen in the House of Assembly where we had a whole day doing a resolution? None. So this is breaking ground all over the place. There's nothing illegal about it.
Now, Symonette says if the PLP government isn't pleased with this arrangement, then they can find a new home for the post office once this lease ends in the next few years. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
That man is the coolest. That man is the coolest. Where you find him, Maria?
I don't know where he come from. I don't know where he come from. Nothing you see my face? Who we think he talking to?
I don't know. See, they get so arrogant and disrespectful when all of the money that they are living off is our money.
Taxpayers' money.
They have raped and robbed this country for so many years, and they're living lavishly off of what belongs to the Bahamian people. Everything they've gotten came from the Bahamian people, from his father to now.
Thank you.
Belongs to the Bahamian people. They've raped and robbed this country, and we are sick of it. It is time for Bahamians to wake up. Okay? That building, that Town Center Mall building, where they put that, Brent, was your land tax or real estate tax up to date?
I heard no.
Was it up to date? We actually should have taken that building from you, Brent. Is that the case? Brent, please tell the Bahamian people if your real estate taxes were up to date, because we could have seized that building. That building was vacated. No one was there. He's making it sound like he did a favor for us. And y'all please screenshot this and send this to Brent Symonette. Okay? That building was vacant. No one was renting from you. You were making no money from it for years.
Thank you very much.
For over a decade, there was nothing of value there. You were making nothing. There was no traffic there. No one was going there other than Corshire on one end and
Commonwealth Bank
on the next end.
And Furniture Plus.
Okay? And Furniture Plus own that part where they are.
Thank you.
All right? And so that wasn't for you, Brent. And Furniture Plus own the part where Commonwealth Bank is. All right? Troy Davil and those. Brent, you were making no money from that building. So in order for you to make some money, you were the one who said that you and Minnis did a crooked deal. You said it on Shanique Miller Show on ZNS. It was your words that you warned Minnis that there was the appearance of a conflict of interest. And you said, Minnis said, don't worry about it.
That's right.
And you made Minnis out to be a liar because he said that you had no involvement in this. There was no conversation with you, etc. But you came out and exposed Dr. Minnis as a liar. You did. And so now you're on the defensive when you were the one who threw Dr. Minnis under the bus as it relates to this. If you were making $0 a square foot, all right? $0 a square foot, and now you can make $12 a square foot. That's $12 for times whatever for the year. Times how much ever square feet for the year. So don't mind that they break it down to $12 so it doesn't sound like a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I think it's almost $1 million a year that he will be getting Okay? And so him talking about the government, you know, having to do setup and this and that. When you rent your building, you're supposed to rent it intact, in a sensible way. Remember, the first thing that happened in that building was the ceiling fell apart and the pipes was no good. And remember?
It's a moldy building, Lincoln. Let's tell the Bahamian people, because a lot of persons in that post office were calling me. There was a lot of molds in that building. Huh? The water leakage, the air condition. Huh? But guess what? Bahamians, they had that building on sale for 1.something million. So we supposed to own our whole complex. Huh?
Someone says the PLP had that intention to go in that building a long time before. Let me make it clear to you. Whether the PLP wanted or intended to go in that building, they didn't. They were going across the street, okay, where the building is now dilapidated. Money was already spent on that.
Thank you.
Then the F&M didn't want to do that because they felt PLP was related to that. So they went all the way in Glasgow Road, took Phil's place, all right, possessed Phil's place, and so that's money wasted again because they decided not to use Phil's place anymore. They came up with some lie that the building couldn't use. It's a lie because after that person's used the building because they wanted to funnel money to Brent Simonet, these criminals in the F&M.
Yes.
And so they gave the crooked deal to Brent Simonet and to help him make some money for that building that he could not rent to anyone.
And anybody was buying it though.
No.
Thank you.
Who's going to buy the dilapidated building?
Moldy building.
And so they did that to benefit these more crooked deals. And that's what they've been doing for a long time in politics. They would give rentals to their cronies as a way to pump money to them. $10,000 a month for one little building that they don't even use. They still have buildings that they're renting from political cronies from the PLP days, back in the beginning, in the building days, that they don't even use. They have other buildings that they're renting from Brent Simonet, you know, that they don't even use. And so we need to change this. All right? Brent Simonet, that building, that was a favor to you. That was a favor to you.
Tell the Bahamian people, Mr. Simonet, how much money did you donate to the F&M for the last 5 years? Let's do the maths now, my fellow Bahamians. Tell us whether you have donated over $3.4 million to the F&M. Tell us, was it a kickback? Because that building does not benefit the vast majority of the Bahamian people. And you want us to continue with this contract. We can get a whole new building, Lincoln, someplace else.
Yeah.
All this crown land we got, Mr. Simonet, why you and Dr. Minutes just couldn't say, look here, we're going to take whatever we got and pump it in to the crown land.
Because it was a crooked deal and they were funneling money to someone who was a donor of the party. That's what Dr. Minutes was doing.
Thank you.
It's simple as that. All right? And this has to stop. We need a new Bahamas. And so I want to continue on to other matters. Graham Rutherford says Brent for PM.
Graham, that's a joke.
Graham ain't said, yeah, he laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he ain't said. Yeah, so we want to move on. The Bahamas has to find, but before I say that, show them the box again. One more time. Show them the box again. The contents of this box is one worth $138 billion. $138 billion. I'm going to show you court documents as it relates to this in a minute. And I'm going to show you a letter from Hubert Alexander Ingram.
What? Not Papa, man.
Your Papa.
Not Papa again, man.
I'm going to show you a letter.
Oh, man. Not Papa.
From Hubert Alexander Ingram. What's in the box? Bahamas, when you see the contents of this box, you're going to understand that your politicians, F&M and PLP, regard you as nothing. You should never benefit from this country or anything in this country, that you are considered the plebs, the pawns, the nobodies. They don't care about you, and you're nothing. And no, that box has nothing to do with Derrick Road. Nothing to do with Derrick Road.
This another set of money, Lincoln? Well, Lincoln, you gotta be serious.
See you in a minute. Now, Maria, you've seen it reported that the Bahamas has to pay $2 billion in the next 8 months. Remember, I was reporting even before the election, I was reporting letting everyone know the government is in serious trouble as it relates to debt. I was telling them you have to pay $900 million by the end of this year and another, $700 million by the end of next year. Because of other things that have happened since then, it has increased. So now it's in the next 8 months, it's $2 billion, even more than I said. When I said it, some people didn't believe.
I didn't believe you needed Lincoln.
Now we gotta get it. Everything that Lincoln Bean says always turns out to be the truth. Everything.
I use know all these things.
I know the Father up in heaven,
Okay, Lincoln.
and He know everyone. And sometimes He just zap them and tell them give Lincoln what he needs.
Okay.
Mm. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to find $2 billion in the next 8 months. How are they going to do that? And that's just for debt. How are they going to do that? They don't know. But while we are sitting around not knowing how we're going to find this $2 billion, they are sitting around in negotiations with the Chinese.
Man, Lincoln, not the Chinese again, man.
Yes.
Do like what Brian Rutherford say, tax the foreigners, tax these people who have all these businesses in this country, tax the Libuki boys. They living here for free. No, Lincoln.
Listen,
It's unacceptable.
we don't need to be a country that will depend on taxes, because right now all they do is tax the poor people, and you're right, they should tax the rich more. But
Yes.
we don't need to be a country that depends on taxes. We need to be a country that depends on our natural resources.
Oh, yeah.
Our prime minister the other day went to the UN begging. He went to COP26, I should say, begging. We need your help. We need some money. The Bahamas turned into beggars. And many people were pleased with his speech. The speech, I think, was written by Latre Ramin. Good job. You've done a good job writing all the great speeches.
Yeah, that was a good speech.
But it's just a man writing a speech that was passed to him. I'm not impressed by someone who could read a speech. I expect children to be able to do that. But he read a speech. But as a part of what he was doing, he was begging someone to give us some money. You know, I went to, someone was begging. I came out of a store one time and a man was begging. He was on crutches and he was begging me for $1 to get some food. I normally, help out where I can. But he was on crutches and I was like, so you could walk? He's like, yeah, I gotta walk with crutches. I was like, so why are you here begging? He was like, because I'm disabled. I'm like, no, you're disabled in your mind if that's how you're thinking. Instead of begging me for $1, why don't you say, okay, let me clean your car windshield, or let me shine your tire, or why don't you go and get some phone cards and sell those? I said I would be willing to give you the startup to sell some phone cards right now. I'll give you the money to start it up, buying your phone cards, and you can go sell the phone cards and make some money. Like, man, I ain't doing that. And he was begging. I said, listen, let me tell you something. My dad was crippled. Couldn't walk even with a walker. He was crippled. And he was a boat captain. Never begged anyone for nothing. And when he couldn't be a boat captain, he was a taxi driver. Couldn't get out of the car to open the door for the tourists. Sometimes tourists would get mad, but he made no excuses. He was paying for my private school. My dad was crippled, and he paid for my private school. And that's why I don't believe in begging. And there's some people who are truly in need, and those people must be assisted. But there are some people who don't try. And the Bahamas is one of those. As a nation, that's us. We sit around begging the foreigners to come here and do something and give us some jobs. We have to change our mentality, Bahamas. We have to change our mentality. And so we should not be going to the UN and begging for anything in this country. Anything. We have natural resources worth trillions of dollars. We've shown you the facts on this, that we should be harvesting and selling. Why is Bahama Rock taking $5.4 billion worth of anything out of our country? If our dirt is worth that much,
Thank you very much.
the ground you walk on, companies are coming here and making billions from the dirt you walk on, and you begging?
Thank you.
The ground that your house is on is worth more than you can sell that property for. Are you awake? This is what Brent Simonet and his father and those did to the hills in this country. They would cut down the hills and sell the dirt. Remember out there on East Street South?
Yes.
By the roundabout.
Yes.
It was a tunnel they cut through that hill. And you used to have to drive through that tunnel, the dark tunnel, in order to get, to the south. I remember that. And they cut down all those hills, made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of it, and then put a shopping center there while you were asleep.
Hold on, man, Lincoln, man. You can't be serious.
Yes.
That was Brendan again.
Yes.
What more you want, Mr. Simonet? You want the whole Bahamas for you and your family? Lincoln, man, man, no, man, not the Simonets again, man.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. That is in our documentary. Go to BahamianEvolution.com and you can see the page with our documentaries. That is in our Land Pirates documentary. Just scroll down. The first documentary is the one to the bottom, and then you can start up. You'll see them. Those documentaries, if you've never watched them, because there are many people who have still not seen them, they outline everything that's been going on in this country. Everything. But we need $2 billion. We can make that like that from our natural resources. Like that.
Hold on, man, Lincoln. Why the PLP now? We giving them all this information. They need to go and review these contracts and these agreements. We need them now to stop what they're doing. Let these people and bring in these contracts and agreement, and we need to get a piece of the pie. This can't continue to go on. We need a piece of the pie. Mr. Brad Davis, the PLP, we need our debts to be paid. We need it to be paid. If we, the Bahamian people, could benefit from our natural resources coming out of this country, please tell these companies, bring these contracts for them to review these contracts. We get 3 QCs in the house. Y'all know to review these contracts. Get the Bahamian people things. Just our things. We can't allow these people, Lincoln, to continue to eat of the fat of the land while we are starving in this nation. Lincoln, that's all I asking for,
Yeah.
Bring it to contracts to us. You'll review it. Tax these people. We cannot any longer allow these people to come in here, eat Lincoln, and we can't eat the Bahamian people there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're going to fix that, and we have to fix that as a people. And so I just blocked someone named Trace, but I don't normally block people. But listen, if you don't want to be here, then don't come here. All right? That's what I'm saying. In this dispensation, we are moving into a new and serious mindset of Bahamians, where we need change in this country. We don't have time for people who are pandering to politicians who are rich every day, driving in fancy cars provided by us, living off the fat of the land, while selling out to the people who are oppressing us. We have no interest in that. We are going to empower our Bahamian people. That is all we are interested in. That is it, and that is all. We have a Marcus Garvey type movement that believes that our people are good. Our people are powerful. It is okay to be a Bahamian. It is okay to be proud to be a Bahamian. And we should benefit from what belongs to us. If that is not for you, then listen, don't come here on a Sunday listening to the information that we are giving to the Bahamian people.
That's right.
And if you have some information that if you have any information that our information is false and no one has ever been able to discredit a word we've said for over a year, not one word they've been able to discredit. So they started to try to attack us personally. Oh, this one, this, and this one, that. Maria too loud. Lincoln is a crook. All these bunch of lies. All right? I tell them over and over, bring your proof. But what I want you to focus on while you're talking your gossip is our natural resources. We're not going to let
That's
up.
right.
Last week we made an attempt to call, what's his name? Juan Miller. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to call Juan Miller again.
Again?
We cannot let up of our natural resources. How you come here and you quiet with our natural resources? All about you are. Now all of a sudden, you get in and not a peep from Vaughn Miller. Vaughn Miller, don't make me show up to your house. Because we need what belongs to us.
Oh, Lincoln, you might put your handcuff to the gate.
His house?
Yeah.
But handcuffed to him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's make it a call. We can try him on WhatsApp first. Let's see if he answers. That's Vaughn Miller.
And I tell you, he ain't answer.
Vaughn is a man of God. Vaughn is going to answer.
No, he's not.
Vaughn is going to answer. I believe in Vaughn.
The person said he is still waiting on a report from Vaughn Miller Ministry.
No answer from Vaughn?
No.
Maybe he don't have no data on his phone, on his government phone. Let me try to call
So
him
regular call.
Regular call. So we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Vaughn has no data, so we're going to call him on the regular line. Vaughn Miller, we need an answer about our natural resources.
The Bahamian people natural resources. The taxpayers natural resources. Not the white oligarchs natural resources.
We need everyone to call Vaughn Miller. I give his number in a minute. All right, that's Vaughn Miller.
I think you think one day you need to go to the Vaughn Miller Ministry and ask them some questions.
You have to.
We have to do that. See, because we can't let up these people get by with this. Huh? See?
The machine came on. I said, you can't even leave a message. The message box is full. Vaughn Miller, we need to hear from you about our natural resources. We are not going to let up on this. We are serious about this. We are serious about this. And we are going to do what we have to do to get what is ours. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we could solve all of our country's problems just like Norway did, just like Qatar did, just like Dubai did, all of these countries. Someone say, well, they had oil. Listen, what we have is more valuable than oil.
That's right.
We have the most used natural resource in the world. It's second only to water, and that's because we drink it. And so that's really number one. Most used natural resource in the world is called sand. And we have the renewable kind in this country. The only country with renewable natural resource. The only country. Oil is not renewable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you all know how serious this is, we don't have to be begging, we don't have to be poor, but they don't want you to know how valuable it is. And so you have to wake up. It's only if you wake up. Please educate your family. Go to our page with our documentaries, watch those documentaries, educate yourself. If there's anything, someone says, what? I do not want to hear no talk, but natural resources talk. Amen. Thank you.
Right.
Bob, Joey. You don't hear nothing but natural resources. Because it's ours, it belongs to us, and it can empower every Bahamian. Every Bahamian. And so we're gonna have question and answers in a minute, but I want to get back now to the box. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the box. And this is, oh, that's yours or mine? Oh, mine up there. This is powerful, y'all. This is powerful. I keep telling him inside, they are not treasured and accepted in this country. They are treated like dirt in this country. Inside that box is something extremely valuable. I'm going to tell you what that is right now. Show the box from that angle. There it is. That's the open box.
With the Bahamian side, Lincoln. I think the Bahamian flag in Lincoln.
Yeah. This goes deep, y'all. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. The Bahamian flag was created by a Bahamian gentleman who was robbed. Because he was a poor, regular black man, they took his design, stole it. There it is. They took his design, stole it, and refused to pay him for it. I want you to see this. All because they feel that's too much money for that little black boy. This is in the courts right now. But this is our flag that he invented. Now, look, let's go to the patent. I want you to see the patent for this. Go to the patent. He patented this. Not that. That's not the patent. The yellowish page. And there's a patent, but we can only see a part of it, eh? Gotta wait till it comes up on my big screen. It's going to be a little behind here. Y'all stay tuned for this. Why is it only showing a part of it? Well, anyway, this is his patent. Oh, you're showing the top and then the bottom. This is where he patented that design. There's the documents to show that he patented that design. All right, for the flag with those colors. They stole it from him and refused to pay him. Remember, a few years ago, they got in trouble where they used a picture of Finland that a gentleman did. I remember the gentleman's name. And when they brought out the dollar, and they had to stop the dollar until they made a settlement to pay that man. Right. Before, you know, they were just going to take the picture and use it. And the man said, but y'all can't do that. And they saw he was serious. He got a lawyer, and it was going to be so embarrassing. They tried to settle it under the covers. Well, this man has been meeting with prime minister after prime minister, and they just told him, listen, we need you to keep this quiet. It's going to be an international embarrassment for the Bahamas. Just keep it quiet. We're going to take care of you. Every prime minister, from Finland to Ingram to Christie, all of them. And Dr. Minnis was the one who filed an action to try to block this man. He's the evil one.
Now you better stop lying. Man, Lincoln, why you lying on Dr. Minnis, man? Huh?
You know, I don't talk unless I have documents.
Why are you lying on Dr. Minnis again?
I would never lie on him.
Dr. Minnis actually did that?
Yes.
No.
Now I want to show you let's look at the letter from from Hubert Ingram. The letter from Hubert Ingram. The Hubert Ingram letter. The PM letter. Let's go to that. This is a letter from Hubert Alexander Ingram to the man who did this. This man is now 68 years old. Oh my God, I can hardly read that. It's so fuzzy on my screen.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln, pull this up. What year is it?
The letter?
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, I can pull this up for you right now. I hope
Ooh.
I can pull it up. Give me one sec.
Mr. Ingram, Papa, please tell me you know nothing about this. Please, Mr. Ingram.
Watch when I show you how much this whole thing is worth.
Mr. Ingram, please. On behalf of the Bahamian people, tell me this information is incorrect. Lincoln, why are you bringing me on here today to to read something with Papa name attached to it. Lincoln, you know I love Papa. I love Papa. Lincoln Papa did a lot for this country. Lincoln, this is too much now. I'm glad this thing fuzzy. Thank you. Something more. But my fellow Bahamians, the same way, I believe in what is right and what is wrong. Papa, if you do wrong, I gotta call you out today. I want Lincoln, show me this document with your signature in it. I am willing to call Lincoln out today to tell me the people Lincoln lying on Papa. Hubert Alexander Ingram. Lincoln lying on him.
All right, documents coming through now. Get all them. It's too small on the screen. It's depending on the small phone screen to see it.
Thank God Lincoln he can't bring up this document because I can't see this today. Lincoln, thank God you can't bring that document up. I guess we can do that another time.
Okay, here it is.
Come on, Lincoln.
There it is. Okay, so as you can see, this says Office of the Prime Minister.
Yes. Hold on. Oh, 31st October 2007. Papa, you was in power. Papa, you was in power. Jesus Christ, Papa. Oh
And
my God.
it says reference to the OPM IP / the flag, and it says Bishop James Alexander Darling. That's the person who actually did the flag. Bishop James Alexander Darling is the person who did the flag.
He's still living in Lincoln?
Yes, he's 68 years old.
And they still robbing that man?
Yeah, I came across this as I was doing my research. You know, I always read through all the court documents and everything, and I always, you know, research stuff. And so I came across this, and then I did some investigation, and I actually, you know, got to do some things and found the actual box, the actual thing, everything we dug up. And so it has his information, and it says, and this is from Hubert Ingram. It says, "There, Bishop," put it on me so they could see me while I read this. I want Ingram to look at me in my eyes while I'm reading this. So this letter is probably from Mr. Ingram to Bishop Darling. There it is. There, Bishop Darling. Reference to, and it's talking about this particular
So Mr. Christie was a part of this conspiracy too?
addressed the former Prime Minister Christie under the Christie administration. Y'all hold on, you'll hear some stuff that's not this serious. As present Prime Minister, I write keeping my posture toward the continued proliferation of problems which I face having pre-existed when we take office, and where situations like yours arise, which require response in written form. In other words, it's so much stuff pre-existing me, and you know, stuff that has to be dealt with. After further review of the documents presented by you, an internal investigation was done on the Fun in the Bahamas gaming invention. And that's the design. That's what he actually named the flag, Fun in the Bahamas. All right. And so it was his design that is patented by him.
Hold on, $400 million?
Hold on, man, don't read ahead.
Man, Lincoln, man.
Hold on.
Man, look at
Where Maria going?
Ooh, Papa,
This-
you was a dangerous man.
Hold on. This particular letter brought me concerns and was uncertain to the claims which you perceive to exist, indicating that the government has chosen to infringe on your rights to patent and copyright as owner to the design of the Bahamian national flag, and of your demands for payment in the amount of $400 million along with public apology for illegal use or suffer the consequences of exposure through mediation and litigation, which you will bring in international court. When I came to know of your intellectual properties, I was astounded of the existence to your copyright claim dated July 25th, 1988, in addition to a claim previously submitted on your behalf dated January
1964 before I was born,
January
Lincoln?
2nd, 1964.
Ooh.
After verifying these with registry for the purpose of authenticating the documents which you sent, in observing there are grounds to determine, based where it can be seen that the design of the Bahamas flag and the design that is recorded shares some similarities to an extent that one is clearly an indication of an infringement of the other. My posture, Bishop, as well as yours towards those we represent, makes it imperative that we eliminate the root of what is causing good governance to falter in the Bahamas. It is unfortunate that at the time given for a search of a design to be used as the national flag, I continue to the next page, give me one sec.
Nigga, this is even before we became independent,
Yeah.
Lincoln.
We
Papa,
patented it before we became independent. They
thank
used
you.
it.
And they use it.
Hold on, let me finish. The five,
Oh, Jesus. Lincoln.
the proper due diligence was not thoroughly conducted in determining true ownership to a design previously existing in our own registry. In other words, this was in the registry of the
Thank you.
Bahamas, and they should have known it, and they did not check our own registry, and they violated this man's copyright. I'll continue reading. Persons do things for different reasons and in different ways, and quite frankly, I would handle situations like these more honestly than those who previously did. In review of your past letters and the present circumstances, along with my resolve to do what is necessary, and you do have other registered inventions, I have taken the initiative in putting together a financial package which the government will offer to you as compensation on your patent and copyright. We are not changing the flag, but our offer to pay you is $20 million
Hold on, by when?
on the grounds of installments, having $15 million paid to you by December 18, 2007, with royalties in the amount of $100,000 paid to you annually, or your surviving heirs at law for a length of 50 years, having commenced 7 years after you will have received the first payment. Payment of the proceeds, which will be made payable to you at your Royal Bank account at JFK, as stated in your letter of July 2nd, 2002. You will keep the matter of your patent and copyright and the flag strictly confidential. Having met with Mr. Christie on the matter, I can now assure you that a resolution will be made by the government for quick payment to you through some source by the government, and your threats of litigation and the media are not necessary. A meeting which you will attend in a strictly confidential environment is needed at the earliest availability of the Attorney General. Sincerely, Hubert Alexander
Oh my
Ingram,
God.
Prime Minister. CC, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie. Show them the signature.
Oh my God, Mr. Ingram, Papa, Mr. Christie, do you all have any information on this letter?
We need to know if this is true.
This is true. Let me ask you something. That man got $1 from the government yet?
He has not received one red cent. I think they're trying to wait for him to die because he's 68 years old, and they're trying to wait him out. I think that is evil.
Yes, treason
That is wrong.
to the utmost.
Every time a Bahamian can benefit from money in this country, they try to block us, they try to keep us down, and that is why they don't want us to benefit from natural resources. But what is more Bahamian than the flag? How could you do this with the flag? How could you do this with the flag?
Lincoln, look what you did to me, man. And look what I come here with.
With the mandate.
Thank
But
you.
let me tell you something. Everyone who has sold that flag is selling that flag owes him royalties.
Thank you.
And so they're now looking at litigation in the United States of Amazon, who's been selling the flag, of any flag companies that's been selling the flag. They owe him royalties.
Lincoln, where this man is, because the people at WCI need to take this case. Where this man
I
is.
think you need to take this case through. I think you need to take this case.
This man, no man. Where is this man? Where's his family members?
And
Lincoln,
so
I owe this man no money because I get the payment flag.
I think he give you a discount because you have the people. So this actually is already in court. It's already in court. So there's some court documents. Show the court document, please, producer. So Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis tried to have this struck out. This is the summons this is the originating summons that he did. That's the originating summons.
Lincoln, let me see this man, not Dr. Minnis, man. Him too?
Yeah. So this is the originating summons. All right.
Oh yeah.
So James Alexander Darling
Yeah.
and the Attorney General, Mr. Summons. All right. The Attorney General is the defendant. All right. And so the Attorney General, and this is the summons. That all parties, you could read it.
Yes. Oh, summary judgment to be entered against the defendant. Oh, the government of the Bahamas, the Attorney General.
Judgment against the Bahamas.
Yes. And you see when this dated? Hey, Dr. Minnis. This dated the 27th of May, 2021. Huh? Why they refuse, Lincoln, to call this man in to have a conversation with this man? Dr. Minnis, you's a wicked man. Huh? Why you all want to take this man through this? This man is old. Huh? Just as ridiculous, Dr. Minnis. You're like evil. I see what you're saying. Voice is all Pendant involved in this, you know.
Yes. It's
Huh?
Pendant administration that did it.
Pendant involved in this, right? Ingram, Perry, Christie, Dr. Minnis. Let me see what Greg Davis is going to do to correct this problem. Pay this man this money. He's entitled to his royalties.
So let me tell you what the worst Attorney General in the history of the Bahamas did. All right. So go to the one. Is that the right one we're looking at? I think that's the one. Yeah, that's it right there.
Not Carl Beverly.
Yeah, it's Carl Beverly.
Not the QC.
This is the worst Attorney General in the history of the Bahamas, right? Louis lose every case. So just recently there was a hearing date on the 21st of December 2020. Right, we're just gone. All right, this is fresh. So this is no old case. This is fresh. And so it says civil practice summons to strike out writ. So this is Attorney Carl Bethel, you know, and James Alexander Darling. So what Minnis did was try to get it struck out so we don't have to pay the man, even though Ingram already promised to pay him as Prime Minister. Put it in writing to pay him. All right, and so allegedly, and so here we have the summons to strike out the writ. All right, and they put the law with reference to it. They said there's no reasonable cause for action, whether action is statute barred against the defendant, accrual of course of action for copyright infringement claims. So all they're saying is they feel it was statute barred, and he took too long to sue the government. So
But they still using the
they
flag.
still using this flag, so it can't be statute barred
Thank
because you are using it continually,
It's a continuous breach.
and that's why they lost this.
But what kind of thinking I want to
Just the
see
ruling
that?
here. Read the ruling.
Ah,
Right at the bottom of the page, the last paragraph that they're looking at on the screen.
oh yes, the court charged your case.
The government had no case.
So what case? Because they continue to use the man flag. Listen, my fellow Bahamians, Mr. Brave Davis, we are still using the man flag. We are still using the man pattern. Your QC, you all need to come to the table
That is wrong.
and talk to the man and his attorney. That is wrong. Dr. Minnis, you was a snake. You are wicked. Huh? How could y'all continue to use this man things? Dr. Minnis? And you just striking out. Everything is striking out. It's a continuous bridge. Y'all still using it. And y'all still ain't paid a man. I ain't naked. I need to read that case.
I wish you would read this whole thing.
I gonna read that tomorrow.
The judge talked about this in strong terms. All right?
Thank you.
It wrongly by itself deprives the injured party of such liberty would frustrate intentions.
Thank
They
you.
talked about this in strong terms, and the justice was Tara Cooper Burnside.
What? And then, by the way, you see when the moves appointed by the FNMA.
I don't know.
Okay.
And so
Ooh.
we have all of the documents. So Bahamas, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something. You are not second-class citizen in your country. But just put camera on me. You are not second class in your country. You are no class. Everyone benefits in this country except for Bahamians. If there is ever any reason for you to be paid any large sum of money, they're going to block you.
Yes.
They're going to stop you. Is Derek Roll's situation real? Well, investigate for yourselves. Look at the actions of the FNM.
Thank
But
you.
I know one thing, if it was real, they was gonna block him anyway.
They did block him.
They did block him.
Thank you.
Based on everything I've seen, the Derek Road situation was a real situation. And so, you know, all of the documents is there. You can see Maria reading them. And there's more documents. But this man patented that design. And so now let's see how loving Brave is. Ingram said, I'm going to be different. These people before me, they were bad governance, and I'm going to do good governance. And so I'm going to give you this 20 million. Now, Ingram, didn't you say you say as you mean and you mean what you say? Why is this man still in the document? Why are you waiting for him to die?
Yes.
Why are you waiting for him to die? Bahamians, it's time for us to stand up and have sense in this country. There's one reason they fought against the COI. There's one reason. Because they don't want you to benefit from your nation. Why do we have to move to other countries for a better life? Remember when we used to talk about Haitians like that and say, oh, they leaving their country, you know, to come here for a better life. But look how many Bahamians are leaving and going to Canada. There's a brain drain. Look how many Bahamians are leaving and going to the United States just trying to find
I can pull this case tomorrow.
Mhm. Okay, we're back up, y'all. I don't know how all of a sudden we are talking this deep thing that they were trying to keep secret for so many years, and all of a sudden we getting knocked out. All right, but that's what's happening. You know, they have power to do some stuff in the system. All right, all of a sudden we getting knocked out. Our live feed is getting blocked. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting complaints from Bahamians every day. Complaints who the government has taken their property, it's taking it because they feel a black person shouldn't have this amount of property. They shouldn't be entitled to that amount that was left to them by their parents. There are people every day. We have documents. I mean, piles and piles of documents with so many people who their property was left to them and it was just taken because you don't deserve to have this. Bahamians are treated like dirt in this country, and it has to change, and that has to change immediately. So someone asked about his age. They told me that C. Allen Johnson asked about his age. He invented the patent as a game at the age of 10. That's when he invented it. It is acknowledged
That's right.
by the patent office. I showed you the patent documents, and it is also acknowledged reportedly by Mr. Ingram. And we produced the documentation, and we want Mr. Ingram to answer about that
He
documentation.
ain't gonna answer.
You think he can answer?
No.
I think he's gonna answer, man. Ingram is an honorable man. So that is the patented document there. And so your patent actually exists when you first do a thing.
Yes.
All right? It's just that if someone challenges it, you just have to prove that you had it before them. But that's why sometimes people would mail a design to themselves and never open it and have it as paid mail that has the date and everything on it. That's one way to patent. Another way to patent is to register with the government.
But Lincoln, hold on. When we was in school, they lied and said another person do not fly.
Purvis being.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
So this was a lie from the pits of hell, Lincoln.
Yes. According to the bishop, and I can see everything right here.
Yes.
And these are documents.
I seen it too, Lincoln.
All right, that's the signature of the deputy registrar.
General, yes.
And it was registered. I just want Bahamians to benefit from our country. That is what the COI is about. We are about a new Bahamas where all of us benefit from this that belongs to us. I'm tired of us being the beggars. We're continuing with the same mindset. We have a new prime minister that feels that Bahamians should not benefit from our natural resources, that we give it to a couple of people and let them provide jobs for the rest of y'all. Y'all don't deserve to have this. Y'all don't deserve to benefit from it. And that has been the mindset. We're looking for a new mindset in this country. New Bahamians who want change. And you have to spread the message and spread the word. So I'm going to open this up for questions. Like I said, we have all of the documents on this. I mean, if you read the case, it's pretty amazing. We're not having this discussion to sway, the decision of the courts or any way, but this is a matter of national importance. And all of the prime ministers told him, just keep it quiet. Just keep it quiet. We can handle you. That's what Ingram told him. Just keep it quiet, and I'm going to handle you. Just keep it quiet. And he did that. And they should, the politicians always do. Anytime you have a fight with the politicians, they always tell you, okay, just keep it quiet and I can handle you.
That's what they did to Derek Road.
Yes, they always do that. And Bahamians always listen to them. Listen, if you keep it quiet, they will let that go for 100 years.
Yes, that's right.
They will ignore you. That's the trick of the politicians. Yeah, I can fix you right up. And then you can't get them no more. Then election come up and they're gone. And then the next prime minister say, "Ooh, what the other prime minister do to you? Okay, I can make sure you get straight. All right, we can make you straight, and you can't see him no more."
But Lincoln, you know what is so sad about this? Is that they continue to ignore this man.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was that man, family, take down the Bahamian flag from all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You got to force the government hand.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the flag because it belongs to me. That's my property.
Yes.
Either you pay me for it now or you remove it.
Yes.
I think CNN need to come in here. ABC need to come in here. Everybody need to come in here to show the world how the Bahamian people cheating people things and don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Huh?
How they treat Bahamians.
Thank you.
They should have been honored to pay that man, that boy who created that invention in those days. When most young men were not even thinking on that level. They didn't have that kind of ingenuity in their thoughts. They should have rewarded him as a Bahamian, but no, they wanted to crush him. And they thought that they would make him go broke with all these documents and court cases, etc. And so the last bill he got for his court case was $50,000.
The government need to pay that.
Yeah.
But listen, me, Lincoln, I think we need to go on Bay Street. We need to go on Bay Street now. Because guess what, Lincoln? You can imagine how many other Bahamians they did this to. This is too long.
Yeah.
Huh? We need to now stand up and tell them they need to pay this man. What could happen in another year or so? Huh? And if Mr. Ingram had allocated that money, where did the money go?
This man not only has I need to show you the document. I told you it's worth $138 billion. The accountants actually, because the accountants had to put together a value of his infringement over the years and how much it was valued because they did not give him his money and what they should have been paying him. And so pull up those documents. I don't like to just say stuff unless I show the proof. Pull up those accounting documents, producer, so that they can see these documents. Pull them up for me, please.
I think I need to call the international courts, international newspaper to come here, man. Lincoln, they can't be doing this. This is unacceptable.
All right, so this financial analyst actually did and this is what you're looking at now. Actually did an audit of this to see what was.
Oh, yeah, the Bahamian flag.
Yes, and so where is it? Reference advance related to the matter of the Bahamian flag claim. All right, according to our recent discussions, please find attached copies of relevant documents related to the caption topic, along with a letter from a licensed CPA related to the preparation of the documents. These documents are prepared at the instance of Bishop James Darling, the owner of the intellectual property rights of the flag, in addition to being the designer of the said flag. In the preparation of the documents, great care was taken to engage and obtain the input of various members of the legal profession, both in the international and local arena, so that the schedule of assumptions would have had a realistic purpose and base. There are two schedules. The first is a summary of the claim related to the breaches due to the Bahamas obtained and marketing its ship register and charging various fees. The second is a conservative schedule of daily breaches using 330 locations, which include government buildings, offices, parks, public spaces, diplomatic missions, and other public displays of the flag. Not included are many private homes and businesses that display the flag, which can be added if necessary. Both schedules carry a basis 8% interest compounded annually, which is reasonable given the ranges indicated in various court judgments over time. So this been in court. He didn't just bring this up. All right. Also attached for your easy reference are copies of documents showing showing that Bishop Darling designed the flag long before the Bahamas even contemplated being an independent country.
Thank you.
The same was duly filed. As discussed, we are requesting an advance in the amount of $6 million, the same to be repaid as a first charge from the proceeds of settlement, either with the government or any other party found in breach. Once requested funds are in hand, it is our indication to take action against major companies and or diplomatic consular representatives. displaying the flag without left favor or partiality.
Hold on a second, Lincoln. My fellow Bahamians this afternoon. You know what this means, Lincoln? All our Bahamian flag was flying all over those American embassies and the states all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
We could go and tell the government to take their flags down because it don't belong to the Bahamas government.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs to Bahamian who they refuse to pay. I think we need to take this fight internationally. This is wicked. Papa, you a wicked man to this man, Papa.
Perry too.
Perry, you's a wicked man.
Minister took it to court.
And Menace, you so wicked, you took it to court to try to get this man case thrown out, not to pay this man. You and all very dangerous. You're a dangerous set of people, boy.
And someone said the flags on the cruise ship, so that's the first one they said. The flags on the ships and the ship registry. Every ship that has been flying that flag.
You serious?
Yes.
Oh yes, because it carried the Bahamian flag. Attorney Benjamin McKinney.
And this is a letter that you're looking at. Put a letter right back up, the same one, from Darius E. Ferguson, August 2nd, 2019. To whom it may concern, this letter is to confirm that I am familiar with the computation of the claims probabilities with respect to Bishop Darling and his ownership of the flag now used by the Bahamas government as the flag of the Bahamas. I hereby confirm that the assumptions used are in line with best practices, and the underlying data represent estimates as laid out in the accompanying shipping and daily breach schedules. Go to the next one.
Look at man, look at me, you need to write these people all over the world.
Yes.
Send this internet various attorneys all over the world, every country with a book next. I would have sent this to every government, every country, every international body. The Bahamian flag needs to come down wherever they are until the Bahamas government call this man in and have a conversation with him, Lincoln.
And so here are some of the numbers that they put together. I won't go through all of these numbers, but I'll go to the last page. You can see where they're doing the calculations. This is serious. And if you look at the bottom right-hand side, I wonder if there's a way we could zoom into that. I want you to see the total that he was owed, and that they're saying he was owed up to that time.
What, look at the guy, 11, what is this?
They haven't on 11, that's
149 billion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is for one of the breaches. See what the number right there is?
Oh my God.
140. Right, this one here is 149 million so far up to this date, right? So this is 149 million, right? And then you go over the other pages, it continues. Still go to the next page. At the bottom, you'll see the total. The next page with the green highlights where they comments. Right, this page. So this shows up to let me see the date on this. This shows up to 2019. Right, up to 2019 what he's owed, not to today. It shows up to 2019. And if you look at the bottom, right, right under the green on the right hand side, you will see total penalty from July 11, 1973 to current, and they mean current when this was done, 2019. What's the number there? $138 billion. $138,798 million. You see it right there in your face, Bahamas. Right there in your face. 100, and that's the value that they put on it.
I see why they're looking for this man to die.
They have been stretching this out for years, in my opinion, and waiting for this man to pass away.
Yes.
He has children. He's been struggling. He has struggled, taking all of his money to fight this. He's had prime minister after prime minister promising him that they would deal with this. This man has lost his house. This is how Bahamians are treated while they're looking out for every other race in this country, every other nationality in this country, every other ethnicity in this country, while you are treated like poor garbage. Why? Because you keep shaking those yellow and red flags like fools.
Thinking this man was, PLP.
I don't know what he was, but I think every black man in those days was PLP. Well, not every, because you had some that were foolish enough to vote UBP. Many were UBPs back in the day.
So from 1973 to now, that's almost 48 years,
1973, yes.
Bahamians. 48 years this man, baby. Injustice in this town. Imagine. 48 years. All the Bahamian flag need to come down. All of it. All over the world, all the cruise ship, all the schools, all the government houses. And matter of fact, in the front of Parliament, y'all need to remove it. If y'all can't pay the man Lincoln, they need to remove the flags Lincoln. They have to remove it.
Yeah.
That's some man things.
Yeah.
That's some man pattern.
Yeah.
Just need to stop. Huh? When Dr. Ministry was a wicked man.
And so Ingram and Christie didn't try to take him to court to get rid of it. But Minnis did it.
Thank you.
That evil, slimy rodent, Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis, who does not care about the Bahamian people, took this man after all the suffering he has gone through, after all the money that he has spent on lawyers. Now he has to find another $50,000 to continue his case. Maria Son, you need to take up that case.
I think I'm going to call my people there internationally to come and help me with this one.
And not only is this a Bahamian case, but he needs to also sue internationally. Amazon.com, eBay, anyone who's been selling our flag, it's actually worth much more. They believe that it's worth trillions of dollars over the years for the amount of sales that has happened internationally of our flag and the usage of our flag. This would be an international embarrassment because now they won't be able to use our flags at the UN.
Thank you very much.
At conferences around the world, unless they pay this man. And he was willing to settle. He's not a hard man. He was willing to settle. And so this gentleman had nothing to do with this actually. This came from research. And so this isn't him trying to gain favor. But I think that we need to stand up for this Bahamian man. Bahamians are treated like this all the time in this country. Anytime there's anything that could benefit Bahamians or take us to the next level, we get nothing unless we are a political crony. I don't know who's tired, but I am. But at this point, we got to open this up for about 15 minutes for questioning, and then we'll be gone. Anyone who has any question about anything we've dealt with today, you can talk about that. In the meantime, I want to make it clear to you that we have to fight for our natural resources. It is important that we fight for our natural resources. Our carbon credits are worth $15 billion immediately if they know what to do. But we keep voting for these people because that's our party. And they don't know or care what to do. Guess what? They're straight, they're rich. That man who's campaigning for, he's straight. Can you still get him on his phone? I know we can't get 1 million no more. Who say he's going to be a champion for the natural resources? We can't get him. We can't get him. We need change, y'all. We need change. And so we're gonna wait for some questions. And we also want to thank everyone who has been signing up for their membership. The only way we can keep doing this is if you decide that you're going to put your money with where your amount is. It's $5 a month for your membership. We got to keep this going. We got to keep this happening. All right. It is very important that we keep doing what we're doing. But you're telling us to keep going. We can only do that if you are to come forward and make that happen. We're setting up the proper structure for our organization. And you're going to be the ones to assist us with that. And you're going to be founding members of this organization. Someone says, Lincoln, these damn Bahamians ain't tied enough. Suck my teeth. Is this information on your wall, i.e. the documents? Oh, you mean if I put it on the, no, we probably put it on BahamianEvolution.com. That's where we normally put our documents and our freedom of information, our page. No more parties, independent candidates of the people, chosen by the people. All right. I doubt it. They probably sold the entire Bahamas to the Chinese already. Listen, the Bahamas owes $11 billion. We're $11 billion in debt. All right. We had a typo when it was posted on my website. We said 11 trillion. This is a typo. You know, these phones do their own thing when you're trying to post stuff. There's $11 billion in debt. The only way they're going to keep their head above water, the only way, is by selling this country out. They're going to try some refinancing and moving some stuff around, but guess what? They're not going to tell you what they did. Washington not going to tell you what they did, because they're going to have to give up some things to do it. And right now, I told you that they're in talks with the Chinese. They're in talks with a lot of foreigners who they're going to sell this country to the highest bidder. They're selling this country out constantly.
And we can't get one piece of land.
Not a piece.
A horseman.
Not a piece. Not a piece.
I want that 20 acres of government land for that new hospital, Lincoln. For the new hospital. The Bahamian people need another hospital.
It's a good one. Where the judge who said that the government can't demolish shanty towns, where are they when Bahamians are being hammered? That's a serious thing.
Yes.
Who are the people who are going to fight for Bahamians?
Yes.
You know, the first thing that Brave Davis did, you know, when he had to deal with Atlantis, who was, you know, mistreating their staff, in my opinion, by forcing certain things on them. And Brave said, well, they compromising with us. Brave said they could come in our country and make the rules, basically. You know, he bowed to them instead of standing up for Bahamians. I love Mia Mottley, boy. That Barbados Prime Minister. She is a beast.
Yes, she is.
She kicked the Queen out, and she had one day, she called a press conference, I think it was 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, remember?
And she found out that the companies, foreign companies were paying foreigners more than Bajans in her country. She called a press conference immediately and demanded every media house be there. And she stood up and told them, you are not going to mistreat our Bajans. You can go. You are guests in our country. And so you're going to treat them equally and fairly. That's the kind of prime minister we need, man. Not one who is going to sit down and pander, you know, to these foreigners who come here to benefit from what is ours.
Thank you.
Come on, man. We're going to stand up for Bahamians. But these fellas who are going to come read these fancy speeches that were written for them, and people say, oh, he talks so good. He talks so good. No, he read a speech. But what are the actions? Someone says, we need a full-blooded PM. I am certain that he will look out for us. No offense to anyone, but we tired of foreign PMs. They don't like Bahamians. It needs to be enshrined in our constitution to protect Bahamians. We love everyone, but I can't read the rest of it. How can this matter be dealt with openly in the public? I don't know exactly what they're talking about. Miller has already sold the Bahamian people out. Miller, you are quiet. I'm starting to believe what that lady just said. Someone says the bazaar went down in flames. Pushing a globalist agenda, aka global tax. Wow. I hear carbon credits is a scam. Someone says carbon credits is a scam. No, it actually isn't. Let me explain carbon credits to you. That's a good question. Carbon credits, please look it up properly and investigate. Never believe anything I say to you. Investigate for yourself. All right. Carbon credits is a program that was put in place to make the third world countries benefit where they should from the pollution of this world. Let me explain that better. This country is being polluted by first world industrialized nations. They are making trillions of dollars by destroying the earth, by polluting this nation. And what happens is you have stronger earthquakes that are destroying third world nations mostly. And you have all of this pollution that is causing sea levels to rise, etc. And all of these things that happen, global warming, etc. And so it was understood at the UN that these first world countries are making money while destroying the world for the third world countries, that is not fair. So they wanted to put something in place to make it fair. And so they put a cap on the amount of carbon that the rich industrialized countries can put into the atmosphere. Okay? And so for them to go over that cap, they have to buy the cap from countries that don't pollute the atmosphere, which is mostly the third world countries. And so if they want to pollute the earth, they have to pay these persons. And the idea is that you can't just benefit from that and hurt these people. They deserve something. And that's why they put that in place. So the question is, well, they're still polluting, but they're paying to pollute. But the understanding now is that at least those persons affected are going to be able to benefit. So there's billions of dollars there for them to benefit from. And so basically that is a breakdown of how it works. I hope you understand how that works. And so we can join that, and there's anything that you do to take carbon out of the atmosphere, you get paid for, you get carbon credits for, which can be sold on the market, and it's worth billions of dollars. Our mangroves alone, we believe is worth $15 billion. Mangroves are the best at taking carbon from the air. It takes the carbon and then puts it in the ground in the water. Through mangroves, their roots are in the water and ground. And it keeps it there so it can't get back into the earth. Trees also take carbon out of the air. So persons with a lot of acres of land, which some Bahamians do have, some Bahamians have thousands of acres, they can actually enter a carbon credit program. There are companies paid to come and measure the width of your trees, the circumference of your trees, and they will determine to give you a certain amount based on how much your tree would take out of carbon your tree would take out of the air. And so individuals can make money from this. You can make money from your company can make money. So if you have a company and you added solar panels, you get credit for the amount of solar panels that you added. If you made all your trucks diesel, biofuel, you'll get credit for that. You get credit for anything that you do. And so companies that want to go over their cap, they can buy, for example, a solar plant for a country like Bahamas, free of charges, by cost, and they will get the carbon credits for it. Okay? And so these are some of the things that are going on in the world right now. But guess what? The Bahamas is always last and far behind and last to catch on to anything because we are the most docile people. We are the most pacified people.
The most secretive people too.
Yes. But we are the people who sit down and let them do anything to us.
Yes.
Anything. And that's why we're always last to progress in anything. Our laws are always backwards and behind. Everything is always backwards because we just sit down and let them do what they want and can't wait to come shake our pom-poms every 5 years. And so that's what carbon credits is about. I hope I explained that to you properly. So I'm taking another question. Someone says, Brave Davis talked about this at his UN, but you say he was begging. Yes, he talked about this, but he was also begging. He didn't do one thing. All right? He was reading a speech. Okay? And he mentioned carbon credits. All right? We don't need talk. I am tired of talk. Aren't you tired of talk? It doesn't, the laws are already in place. All they need to do is enact it and enact the cap and trade. All they have to do is enact it. What are you going to the UN talking about it for? When other countries have it and it takes you 1 second, the stroke of a pen to start this. What are you stalling for? Why can't we benefit as a people? And so they're talking about us doing it in the future, but I don't want us to just take this money and just have government spend this and waste this on nonsense, on contracts to their cronies. Spend, so, oh, we're going to develop this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, so that they could send money to their cronies. No, we need Bahamians to benefit. $15 billion from mangroves alone, dying the trees, letting the aragonite, because yes, there's carbon credits for aragonite too, because it's renewable. We want all Bahamians to benefit. Guess what? At $15 billion from our mangroves, that's $100,000 for every adult Bahamian, 22 and over.
Yes.
Right there, before you touch the natural resources. All you would have to do legally, according to international law, is reserve the mangrove so that it can't be sold and it can't be abused. We have miles of trees in Andros that we can get carbon credits for. My Lord, Andros is the 5th biggest island.
Yes.
Actually an archipelago, but I'm just gonna say the 5th biggest island in the whole Caribbean region. It's full of trees, it's green and undeveloped. And we could be making billions of dollars for that.
Excuse me, that's why Quentin wanted.
Yeah.
His family want that.
Hmm.
Don't touch Andros. It's the Bahamian people thing.
Yeah.
We want that. We can benefit from that.
Jamon Darling is asking, where do you think the VAT money is?
The VAT money is now in the bank accounts of political cronies.
Thank you very much.
Whenever they pave a road, a political crony gets the money. Whenever they do a sidewalk, a political crony gets the money. All right? When the government spends money, they funnel it to their political cronies.
Yes.
That's how they operate. We were proposing to put a system in place where we wouldn't have to worry about this anymore. But of course, we have to wait.
Mr. Morley is asking, what do we have to do? Why do we always have to wait? Why can't we start fighting now?
Start what? Why can't we start fighting now? When people call you to come, you have to come. We've been fighting for many different causes. You have to come and you have to stand up. The Bahamians have to stand up. But because the politicians know that we're not going to stand up, that's why they do what they want. But as soon as you stand up, they always stand down.
Yes.
The Bahamians have to learn that.
Marina Cash is asking, where can she go in Abaco to pay for her membership? She would like to pay for 3 years ASAP.
Yeah, well, we can't allow you to pay in Abaco yet because we're trying to get the system set up for you to do that. We tried a temporary situation with SunCash. We attached it to the chairman's business account, but we don't want to move forward with that. And so we're going to wait. It's only going to take about another a week or so in order to have you up and running. No more than 2 weeks for everyone in the Family Islands to be able to do so. Okay. And so once we get that up and running, we're going to let you know as soon as possible. Or if you have a family member that you can send it to in New Providence, they can actually come to our office and they can make the payment for you. All right. But in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to attach it to our mobile app. So you can go right to our mobile app and pay your membership fee. Thank you so much for believing in us. Thank you so much for believing in this cause. We appreciate it 100%.
Mr. Cooper is asking, are there any discussions going on about the Quantum Financial System or the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act?
Someone is asking Maria if that's bad as she's drinking. Listen, me and Maria do a lot of work all day, and we got to stay awake. And I don't drink coffee. All right? And so, yeah, so it's not beer, it's energy we drink in. This is not a commercial. Before we sign off, I want to, Ronnie Monkey is out there fighting, McDonald's. I want to say a message to McDonald's. Maria is actually representing him in that. I'm torn on this. Rodney, you're actually giving them more promotion. you're helping them by giving them all of this attention. And so I think you need to consider that. You really need to consider that. For me, McDonald's is a black-owned corporation. It's black-owned in the Bahamas, and they've been helping people for a long time. I remember I was a young man in a choir, E.B. Roberts choir back in the day. We wanted to travel, and McDonald's would help us. They would be the ones helping to fund us traveling. They would let us come in McDonald's downtown in where the Hilton is now, British Colonial. There used to be a McDonald's in there, and they would let us sing for the tourists and that kind of stuff. As a children's choir, we would work for our money so that we could travel. And I remember that, and they've done that over the years. And so this black-owned company made decisions to do that kind of stuff. Now, an American is working there as a manager, and so that needs to be dealt with. If he does not belong here, then get rid of him.
I agree.
If he don't belong here, get rid of him. I don't know why you have an American working in a McDonald's as a manager. An American in a McDonald's? There's no special skills that are needed. So if he has wronged you, get rid of him.
I totally agree.
But for me, McDonald's is a black-owned corporation that has been here for many, many years, that has been contributing to our society. And so that's why I'm saying I'm a little torn on this. So deal with stuff how they're supposed to be dealt with. If that man wronged you, said something wrong to you, then let's deal with him. Let's pack him up, pack his bags, and escort him out of the country. All right? But like I said, McDonald's has been a corporate citizen for a long time. I haven't spoken to them. I'm not speaking on their behalf, but I know of what they've done, and I've benefited from that. So Rodney, I know you do some things to get attention, but put it where it needs to be. Get that man out of this country, do your investigation. He shouldn't be talking to Bahamians any kind of way.
That's right.
He was very rude by coming out there and saying, you know, take your money elsewhere. I don't know the facts and what happened on the other side, so I cannot speak fully about it because, you know, Rodney hasn't been forthcoming with exactly what the problem is. I don't know exactly what the issue is, why he was asked to leave. And so I don't get in stuff when I don't know the details. But if the man is not supposed to be working here, and I would say the kind of job you're doing, managing McDonald's, you don't belong here.
Thank you very much. Because anything is.
Yeah. And how we got that work permit is what is shocking to me. And so that's crazy. Okay, there's something happening, a women's march or something coming up soon?
Yes, on Wednesday.
What's happening?
The women are getting together to talk about abuse against children, abuses against women. So we decided now that we're going to come together and we're going to march from Port Charlotte all the way to Washington Square and put our concerns to the government. It's time now that we women stand up and fight for the children and the women of the Bahamas.
What's happening with the police security?
Why did Mr. bring that up? The government is stating that they're gonna sit down and have a conversation with the attorneys to see how they can best resolve this matter. But you definitely know I'm going in on behalf of these police officers.
You're great for the PLP government so far.
Yes, my grade, a B.
A B?
Yeah.
I give them a C+.
Okay, I give them a B.
Yeah, I give them a C+. They've done some stuff to bring us relief from the emergency orders, but in terms of doing something, they haven't done anything. Right?
I think you gotta give them a chance. Watch what's happening.
That's why I give them a C+ and not an F.
You have the permanent secretaries, you have the human resource, and the financial officers who the F of them left in place are not giving the PLPs certain documents to work with. There are a lot of contracts that are being given up and paid, but there are no documents to prove how these contracts were established. So they have to go in there now to try to sort out everything in order for them to make a determination. But if you want 3 persons in giving you what you need, you are ending up with some problems, some roadblocks. And I'm getting a lot of reports from FNMs who calling me, you know, asking just what the situation is. they cannot get their hands on documents to say exactly what's going on in these government agencies.
So what we need is solutions, and
Yes.
thank you for that. What we need is solutions,
Yes.
not excuses. Because you mean to tell me you will let these permanent secretaries sit down and block you for the next 5 years, use that as excuse? No, nobody.
Guess what they're doing?
What they doing?
They brought in 5 additional permanent secretaries who they retire, who know the system.
Yes.
I had a problem with that, but when I start to think about it, you only can bring in somebody with experience to go in there and say, like, yeah,
Mhm.
Lincoln, you're the human resource, pass me this document.
Mhm.
You can't say, no. Pull up your system.
Mhm.
We need to see what's going on. Look at BPL. Ministers extended the contract with these guys. They are working Lincoln under the F&M mandate. But this is a PLP government. How they expect to sit there and carry out the F&M mandate underneath a PLP government? That ain't right.
Mhm.
You got to clip them, Lincoln.
Mhm.
You went to London School, Westminster system. When
So-
the government going, you need to go.
Where's Murphy? From the prison.
Administrative leave,
Not in prison.
not in prison.
Okay.
Tell them don't go back by the office no more. They put the keys on the door. Investigations. The prison officers are still calling me because Murphy did so much stuff to them, Lincoln. But anyway, you know too. I hear AWDs be calling you.
Mhm.
Things have to be changed in this country. So I decided that I'm going to give the PLP a chance, just like I give the F&M a chance.
They don't need any permanent secretary or any documentation that FNMs will be holding up on to give us our natural resources.
No, they don't need that
To
for that.
empower us by our natural resources.
I agree.
Why are you going to the UN begging
I agree with that one.
like a junta when you can start doing what it takes to give us our natural resources, sign on to carbon credits, initiate cap and trade, and make us benefit from our natural resources. They were up and down behind us, the same PLP, when we were talking about Aragonite,
Yeah,
when
they
exposing
was.
what was going on.
Yeah, they was.
Because it's the FNMs, the white FNMs who are benefiting from that. Now they're in power, they're doing nothing.
No, boy, Lincoln, we gotta fight that. I need to see the contracts. We need to see the agreements. We need to know who is benefiting from our natural resources in this
We
country.
already know, and the government knows because they got licenses from the government. They already know. We have the contracts already. We've exposed it in some of our documentaries. If you haven't watched our documentaries, please go and watch that. We need a new Bahamas, and we need them to make us benefit. Why should we benefit? We're going to end right now. Why should we benefit? Someone said you shouldn't give individuals money from your natural resources.
Please.
One, it's ours. It belongs to us. Two, when you give us the money, it circulates in the economy.
Thank you.
And so it's going to make the economy flow even more. And this is new money because it's money that we've not been getting so far. We know what to do with it. But guess what we're going to do? Stay tuned for this, y'all. We are going to form a company to deal with our natural resources.
Yes.
And we're hoping that once we do it, if you are serious with Bahamian people, come forward and you make sure that we can get this done. I know that that's a big threat to them, that those words they said just now, because they don't want y'all benefit. We ain't waiting 5 years,
Of course not.
all right? We are going to establish an organization that's going to allow Bahamians to join in and benefit from our natural resources. And we're going to see if they do to us what they did with the man who designed the flag and what they do to every other Bahamian. Can't get Crown Line, the foreigners can get it, etc. We're going to see what happens. We don't want to put too much judgment on the PLP yet. It's still a short period of time. It ain't 90 days yet. So I give them a C+ because I wanted to fail them because they're doing nothing with the natural resources. They're doing nothing but talking. All I'm hearing is a bunch of opinions everywhere they're going. They said they were ready to hit the ground running and they had the solutions. That's what I want to see. No excuses. All right. Maria gives you all a B. So we can average that out in the middle. And so what you actually get is a B-. That's fair?
Yeah,
I give him a C+, you give him a B.
okay,
In the middle, that's a B-.
okay.
I can't believe you give them the high grade.
Of course.
And
'Cause
we
I-
got our natural resources yet.
Oh, no, we can get that. See, but I know what's going on in these ministries because people are calling me every day.
I don't care what those ministries. Let's get our natural resources, empower our people, and put them and do what we have to do. Let me tell you something. We were going to go into a republic. You go into a republic, you have no need for permanent secretaries anymore because you have a new constitution. You can move the permanent secretaries who are going to be blocking you. See solutions. Because you have a new system. Great. You need to hire the COI to tell you how to get this done. You would have had that done by now. All right. Any permanent secretaries that were blocking us, they would have been removed because we would have moved to a new system like Barbados did. Okay. And if they were keeping this country back or holding this country back, you gotta go.
And then I'm going to tell the PLP, y'all need to do something. Y'all cannot have these permanent secretary, the human resource, and the financial officer holding this government. But like how they hold it, y'all get chains on them. They need to take them chains off and remove these persons in order for them to run these ministries effectively. Like, I trust me, we go in there, they can be doing all kind of scripture. I don't want nobody being working in the office of the Deputy Prime Minister working as my secretary. No, man, got to go.
Now, one quick thing before we go, the government has pushed back their report. They're supposed to give a report. They're supposed to give a report, their financial report and their budgets and projections, etc. They've pushed it back. It was due in the middle of November. Now they're pushing it back to and laying it to the 27th. I don't know why. You should have been ready. This is important. It's the law that you should do that, but that's another fail. Let me see if I could pull that up.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna be there. Okay, down the kill. So how you expect for them to put an effective report together, okay? And these persons ain't giving them.
If I come in the government and you are not giving me what you're supposed to give me, you're going to be fired. If you're doing something illegal, you're going to be jailed, or you're going to be suspended and removed and replaced. We don't have time to play. Our country is seriously in debt, and every Bahamian would appreciate us getting this in order. We would expose who are the persons trying to block us, and we would do what we have to do to make it happen. We need strong leadership to fix this country. We can't sit down making excuses. We need strong leadership. There's F&Ms, you need to work with the PLP so we can get some things done in this country right now. We're in a desperate situation. Put politics on the side. Put politics on the side, and let's get this done. We have to pay $2 billion in the next 8 months. And if it's your plan to just do that to destroy the PLP so that the F&M gets in next time is your hope, you're going to destroy yourselves and your family and your country. Your country's going to be sold out and there'll be nothing left for you in the next 5 years. Think, Bahamas. All of you permanent secretaries in government.
That's right.
The PLP won the government. Do what you need to do. Be professional. And then if they do wrong, you expose them. Expose them.
Financial officer also, they refuse, Lincoln. I have several of them calling me now. People in the ministry, Ms. Jackson, we cannot get this. Why? The financial officer calling up on the documents.
Yes.
They know who they are.
Yeah. And so we just want to thank you for tuning in today. We're going to see you next week with an update on what's going on in the week. Please tune in. Make sure your friends and family tune in. Thank you for those who are putting their money where their mouth is to bring this change. We're going to start organizing each constituency so that we get our delegates together so that we can move forward very soon into a convention so we can formalize our constitution and do everything we're supposed to do. Remember, not everyone who started with us can finish with us.
Yes.
And there are political trolls who have infiltrated us from amongst us. And so we're going to have to take some serious action. You saw a screenshot allegedly from our WhatsApp group that was put in a PLP page. And of course, that means that you have some person who is a troll amongst us, and that has to be dealt with because we have to save our country. So you're going to see strong leadership. Strong leadership. Don't think there's infighting, etc. But the other organizations, political organizations, would pay to try to destabilize us. And so we're going to have to take some strong, decisive action because we got one country to save, and we're on a mission, and nothing is more important than this mission. As I said, we had candidates who felt like we should give them a letter guaranteeing that they will be candidates in the next election, and we just can't do that. Of course not. It doesn't work like that. And we were demanded to do that, and I'm not doing that because we're not going to disenfranchise our branch members who should be able to vote to say who should be the candidate next time. We have to stand strong. We can't let the PLP infiltrate us, pay off a candidate to move out or pay off a candidate to come in and cause disruption. That is not going to happen. We have to stand strong, and we need you to support us and stand with us as certain decisions have to be made. All right, and we just want you to know that we have been infiltrated. Before election, you saw it, and after election is there. But we are going to do. We are strong, and we're doing this for the Bahamian people. And so, not everyone is for this change, and some people will sell out for a bowl of porridge. Okay, so thank you to all of you. We want you to understand that we're not going away. We're not going anywhere. We are here to stay. Okay, we are planted and rooted in the new Bahamas, and we're going to continue to give you our vision, our dreams moving forward. And any bad apple that wants to come in here and disrupt the new Bahamas, we're going to have to deal with them and deal with them strongly. And so we want to thank you. We want to thank you for believing in us. Change is not coming. Change is here. See you next time.
Bye, my fellow Bahamians.